Lego!
Marvel Superheroes.
Coming fall 2013.
PlayStation.
Rating pending. Content rated by ESRB.
Lego.com/superheroes.
Welcome, dear listener, to our podcast. Jeff and Merc present Unpacking the Power of Power Pack,
where we journey through each issue of comics that include a member of the most underrated Marvel series from the 80s while drinking beer.
analyzing awesome and amazing adjacent adolescent adventures and absorbing alcohol.
I am Jeff.
And I'm Rick.
Random Banter is the very first Marvel Limited series and predates Secret Wars as the first major crossover, despite the latter often being cited as such. Random Banter time, buddy. Talk to me, tell me tall tales and tantalizing tidbits of trivia today.
Was it Infinity or The Hunt?
Nope, it would be Contest of Champions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yep, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody else will on page 2 of the comic as well.
Yes. And then let us never speak of it again. Good. Nice. Well done. That was actually interesting, unlike the normal path that you usually throw out there. Very good job. I'm proud of you.
Wow, we're getting right to rubber and glue right now. Let's just skip forward 45 minutes.
Sorry, I like cutting to the good stuff. You know, what can I say? I may be feeling a little punchy. I'm sorry. I just finished watching Daredevil Born Again. Just finished watching episode 9 last night, and I'm feeling a little punchy. I'm feeling a little bloodthirsty. I'm feeling like I want to do some ultra violence on some fiends. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I haven't watched them yet. It's on the list. I'm sure it's good.
Yes, it's very good. I really enjoyed it. There's one episode midway through that's kind of a bit of a candy episode, which I love. And I kind of wish that the rest of the series was like that. But at the same time, I really like the structure and how it built. It may seem slow at the beginning and may have some parts where like, where are we going? What's going on? But I think it comes together really well at the finale. I kind of like the one-off episode they do in the middle. It's real fun and yeah. But the ending of this thing, it's really cool, very justified. I think they do a good takedown and disassembling of a character that's well past due and makes me actually like that character a lot more now. But
okay,
I think it's good. I think it's well worth the time. I think it's something, especially if anybody out there who listens to our show has tuned out of Marvel stuff, I understand. Watch Daredevil. It's pretty darn good. Pretty darn good.
I'm looking forward to seeing those. Again, it is on the ever-increasing list of medias that I will watch.
Whatever.
Yo. Well, I have been dipping my toe into the media sauce lately. Have you seen or heard of the movie called Flow?
Yes. Yes, I have. I watched it when we went down to Mexico and spent the week with Armando and Victoria. One of the nights we're sitting in their house and I missed the conversation. I was out doing something else. I don't know what it was, but I come back in the room and everybody's decided to watch this movie Flow. I think Victoria had heard about it and she's like, well, let's watch it because there's a cat in it. And Cindy and Carrie are like, cat, yay! And so I come in and we sit down and I'm like, what are we watching? Why are we? Oh my God, it's a cutesy little movie. It's cute. I'm in love with this movie.
Maybe it's not.
I think this movie is ripping at my heartstrings. I think this movie is getting really weird and fantastical, but it was beautiful. It was very gorgeous and beautiful, and it was like watching poetry.
It is the first movie theater movie that I have seen in like over 7-8 years. Huh. This was me going back. And I didn't go to like a theater proper. I went to a Kennedy School, McMiniman's theater.
Oh, nice choice.
So yeah, got to drink a cider and had some popcorn and all the stuff and got the cozy seats and couch. Yeah, watch that. Interesting film. I went into it knowing nothing about it other than it was like, it has a cat and it's animated and you're watching it like, okay, it's an animated cat movie and it's doing some stuff. Whatever.
And honestly, that's probably the best way to go into seeing that movie because otherwise you might not want to go and watch it.
I know. I really want to talk about it. Could I do some spoilers or should I just say, I saw it, I really liked it, people should see it?
I think that might be enough because I think it's hard to describe and hard to explain. And I think
Oh, I can describe it.
I think explaining it kind of ruins a little bit of the film because you just have to go into it not knowing what's going on and just enjoy what you see.
Going in blind was really pretty great. It was neat. It was really well done. I really, really enjoyed it. It is something I highly recommend people go and see. It is good. It is the movie Flow. In fact, I think it won an Oscar, didn't it?
Yeah, it won Best Animated.
Yeah, I think it won Best Animated. I think it beat Wild Robot, which I heard is amazing as well.
Yeah, which is sad because Wild Robot was fantastic. That movie also reaches in, grabs your insides, and just keeps on twisting it for a while. At the same time, I could also be like, yeah, that's fair. I can see it. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful to watch.
It is a beautiful movie, and that's where we'll leave it. It is a beautiful film, well worthy of the Oscar that it won.
Yeah. And if you get a chance to see it on a big screen, in a couch, in a converted gymnasium while drinking a beverage of your choice, then you must be in Portland.
There's other places.
There's other places, yeah.
There's other places. I know that there is that are like that.
All right. Speaking of weird, strange, and what are we doing here and what is this about? We probably should get into talking about this book, but before we do that, Jeff, can you give us a 2-sentence replay of the last episode?
Bentley is filming a documentary about the old Atlantean Ahurans, Vil and Wu, for a class project, and what better place to learn about the fish kids than at a pool party! Hosted by the very wealthy Charles Coda for the Fantastic Four and the Future Foundation. But lo and behold, that Charles is an immortal gaseous alien that inhabited the dead before his time body of Julius Caesar, and he encountered and helped the time-lost Fantastic Four back when he was stabbed to death, and now wants to repay the favor by loaning the Antastic Four his space-time ship and all of his wealth so that they can go and save the waylaid in time and space Fantastic Four. Now that the Ardian Leech really couldn't handle all the roughhousing that goes along with a kid's pool party, and they broke down into tears, which made me sad. 2-sentence replay is over. Why don't you give me a beer and tell us what our Power Pack pick is?
No, I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. And you know why. You know why. I don't know why I need to say any more than that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
All right.
No.
Is it because you dropped it off like weeks ago?
Something like that.
And it's up to me to reach over and grab it?
Something like that. But mostly it's because you are nothing more than my rival.
Oh, are we in different schools for this contest of champions? We might be. Or it's a beer reference. It's probably a beer reference. Let's find out. It is Fair State Co-op Northern Rivals Barley Wine Ale. I've had some questionable barley wines, but yep, we are Northern Rivals. We are in Northern Oregon, and we are rivals. We have a dividing line betwixt East and West, between moral and immorals, between toilet paper rolling over the top and toilet paper rolling under the bottom.
No. One of us doesn't care.
Bitter rivals. And the can is a nice, lovely blue label with a nice wintry snowscape on it, nice winter trees. This honestly looks like something that I've seen many, many times in the Pacific Northwest, especially up around Mount Hood. Sans the mountain. And why would it be Northern Rivals? Well, let's see. There are some of the schools that are in the Northern Hemisphere. Some are in the Southern as well, but they are all rivals because we are having a contest of champions! Oh, I wish it was a pool party. That would be a hilarious contest of champions if it was just like,
hey, I may be a couple issues above you on this, reading this run right now, and I'm just going to go ahead and say, we might be heading towards a pool party of sorts. Anyways, This is Northern Rivals by Central Waters Brewing Company is what I got here, but it is a Fair State Co-op is what it says as well. The rich mahogany barley wine will tantalize the senses with notes of figs, brown sugar, and caramel. We brewed this with our friends at Central Waters Brewing in Wisconsin, one of the premium producers of barley wine in the U.S. Despite our states being Northern Rivals, this is the perfect beer to drink with friends on either side of the Midwest borders. So yeah, I should say it's Fair State Brewing Cooperative, Central Waters Brewing. I guess it's both of those two. That's what it is. Yeah.
Story time on it is union made, co-op owned.
Inspired by the friendly rivalry between Minnesota and Wisconsin. There we go.
All right. And
it doesn't seem to be made with any cheese, so there you go.
Oh, that's too bad. That is a really dark red. Yeah, that is definitely a mahogany. That's a very nice color. Nice little bubbles. It's got about a 3/4 inch foam head on it.
I like that foam head. That's a very pretty foam head.
Are you getting a nose off this?
Yeah, just faint.
Yeah, real faint.
It's the faint barley. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very faint. I thought originally after cracking it, I was like, oh, there's caramel notes in there. But now I'm kind of...
Not really.
I'm getting very mild beer flavor. Yeah. It really kind of smells like a mild lager. Beautiful looking beer, though.
Oh, this is a 12% ABV, too, so...
I saw that. I said, ooh, baby.
Yeah, It's a barley wine. It's a barley ale.
Yeah.
It's got It's got the metallic notes in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got that burnt caramel taste. Yeah, the figs, brown sugar, the heavier sugars, the heavier, darker sugars. That's what you're tasting.
It really does kind of have a fig flavor going for it. Yeah, with a bit of the caramels.
Yeah. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not sweet.
No.
It's more of the ale bitter taste.
Yeah. And then I'm kind of getting like it's wine with the tannins and everything going for it, but very mildly.
Yeah. This is definitely one that you would have when the fires are burning and there's a lot of snow out there. Because this is a very warming type of drink. It's not a cooling type of drink. This isn't...
No.
We're getting spring, summer here. It's a very warm day, and it's very warm in my room. And this is feeling very heavy for what I'm drinking.
Yeah, this is a counterintuitive beverage for the season that we're going into. I've been outside washing cars all day in shorts and a t-shirt and stuff, and I don't think this is what I'd come to relax to. I do have to admit, though, I think this is the best barley wine that I've had. A lot of barley wines I'm not a fan of, and I'm not against this, which is faint praise, but...
I need to tell you this, is that I think that there's a couple things that you said that made me glad that this is a 12% ABV, including the fact that you were washing cars today, and you were wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and in my head...
shorts.
Yeah, that turned into short shorts.
T-shirt.
And no, I didn't like that. Did not like, and I'd like to unsubscribe from this.
Washing makes me feel good.
So we were going to move on and go into the opening credits. Please, oh dear God.
Infinity, The Hunt, issue number 1, November 2013, The Hunt. Credits. Writer, Matt Kint. Penciler, Steven Sanders. Inker, Steven Sanders. Colorist, Jim Campbell. Letterer, Clayton Cowles. Editor, Nick Lowe.
Featuring a whole lot of people. All right, fine. Hank Pym, Stryker, Finesse, Lightspeed, Turbo, Wolverine, Iceman, Sprite, Kid Omega, Genesis, Pixie, Shark Girl, Megan, Locke, Box, She-Hulk, Core, Mick, Tong, Turg, Leech, Bentley 23, and Alex Power.
Let's just do a list of more names. She-Hulk, Hank Pym, Wolverine, and Megan walk into a bar.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. Not a bar, but a high-tech campus.
Losing interest?
Well, what if I said they're arguing about what to call this new thingy that they are starting today?
Hey, isn't that a conversation they should have had during the initial brainstorming session and not while they're flying towards the opening ceremony of said thingy?
Yeah, probably, but these people are good superheroes. They're not good choice makers. So, She-Hulk suggests power games, and Hank Pym is leaning towards the peace games.
I would suggest the crying games.
Oh, no, careful, Rick, careful there. Anyway, it is a moot point, because Megan has already decided to just make a command decision and be the adult in the room. She not only named this event, but she created a logo for it as well, and she added all of that to the PowerPoint that they are about to show.
We have a lawyer, a world-renowned scientist, and a fancy boy turned backwoods lumberjack who all should have done better.
True. Very, very true. Megan has decided on Contest of Champions, and like it or leave it, that is what it is going to be presented at the newly refurbished Avengers Academy today.
Presentation time! And in the audience are the moloids.
Oh, yay.
They're complaining about some tremors or something. Yo, it's California! Get over it.
Hank Pym takes the stage and gives us our introduction. This is going to be an intra-school competition, pulling in metahumans from around, under, and possibly above the world. They will select the best and have them fight each other to determine who is the best around.
So, they've created a mobile Smash game?
Yes, they have.
Gosh, this is so much better than math and reading. Why have a library card when you can have a fight card?
The crowd of students attending this introduction have various comments as the participating schools are listed, but the comments are ignored as Hank continues.
Not only will students be encouraged to compete and beat the stuffing out of each other, but this is also a way to build good bridges between schools.
Wait, what?
Working, competing, learning, and killing each other is a way to bring us all together.
Wow, Hank's logic is just truly dizzying.
If you shrink and enlarge repeatedly, you probably have some side effects.
This contest will occur in a couple of weeks on a remote island. Think Bikini Atoll and all of the negative fallout from nuclear testing. So I'm sure nothing bad will happen there.
After more yappity-yap about bonuses, teamwork, and what the acceptable bribes will be, we get the introductions. Since this is their home, the Avengers Academy get pole position in advertising. And so, Hank introduces two of the students, Stryker and Finesse.
Hey, wait a minute, we know them.
Yes, we do. They are the poster kids for the school because most of the Academy is apparently missing in the Avengers Arena storyline.
Yikes. I think we're covering an issue from that series this summer, too, so stay tuned.
Next up is the Pan-Asian School for the Unusually Gifted.
Wow, that name just really rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
The school is an egg-shaped monstrosity that is based in Mumbai and run by Jimmy Woo and Sanyar Naveed. Fun fact, they get their cash from a cursed treasure.
Yeah, it sounds like my bank account.
That would be crickets, not a rim shot.
Critic.
The three students standing in for this school are Gang, a tech genius in a high-tech suit, Pom-Pom, who generates and controls organic tendrils, and Shri, who the incarnation of the Hindu god Durga.
We should mention that all of the students introduced have their own thoughts and opinions on this event, each other, and on teenage angst. So, good times.
Let's see what's next. Oh, the Jean Grey School. Headmaster Wolverine steps up to give the lowdown on his little school and introduces an interesting lineup.
Yeah, here we have Sprite, who has wings and rock-hard skin. Quentin Quire, who's an Omega-level telepath and telekinetic user, and Genesis, who is the clone of Apocalypse.
So the X-Men brought the villains.
Why would you even say that? Sprite is cool, and Genesis is a great kid who, could become a great evil one someday.
And Quentin Quire?
Well, there's you know what? Moving on. Hank introduces the Wakandan School for Alternative Studies.
That brings up some muttering. First, some of the kids here still do not know about Wakanda, while others are wondering how these kids will get along with the Atlanteans, who they are in the middle of a war with.
Oh man, that's a tomorrow problem. Today, we have introductions. We have Shuri, Queen of Wakanda, headmistress of the school, and the current Black Panther Zoom calls in to introduce...
First, let me just say, Shuri has 3 insanely difficult and complex jobs that she does at the same time, and now I am feeling like a failure with my ambition and life choices.
Now you're feeling like a failure?
Before I was just aspiring to it. Now I have decided to really embrace it.
So, the students. Asha has invisibility and light powers. Blocks absorbs and transfers kinetic energy into blocks. Bull has strength, agility, and senses of the lion.
Fun note! Asha has become interested in Genesis while Quentin Quire is absolutely stricken with Asha. So fun potential love triangle, or something.
It is time for the Future Foundation to make an appearance, and while She-Hulk is introducing their philosophy, we see some film of the Baxter Building, including a shot of Alex Power lifting something heavy in the background. Way back in the background.
Julie, who is in the audience for this presentation, must be so embarrassed. Like, what a goofball.
Anyway, the shining example of this team of brainiacs are the Moloids and Bentley 23.
And the other schools all stifle laughs and mocking.
But wait, check this out. Next on the agenda, the Latverian School of Science.
Everyone is now paying attention, but there's no response from the Latverian side of the Zoom call.
Quentin Quire is filling out his transfer papers, but Bentley has already submitted his.
As the Braddock Academy begins their presentation, the Moloids are really becoming anxious. Something is coming, something bright, but who cares?
Megan shows a picture of the castle school for their academy, but admits that some of the students are, missing.
Yeah, because they're trapped in the Avengers Arena. But that's for later.
Right. For now, she introduces Locke, who is an underwater swimmer with tough skin and strength. And Box, the son of Roger Box from Alpha Flight with a similar exoskeleton suit.
Mantlo!
What was that about, Rick?
Oh, anytime I think of Alpha Flight, I think of Why Not Read Alpha Flight with Chris and Tom, and them yelling that phrase. Just muscle memory. I'll be good.
Yeah, that's a likely story. While Quentin mocks the shallow barrel Britain seems to be scraping from, Hank Pym introduces, or at least tries to introduce, the Atlantean School.
Unfortunately, the underwater telecom cable that they spliced into to get the free internet seems to be having some technical difficulty. Just know it's static on the screen until Namora appears and states that they're under attack.
Under attack? I just thought they were underwater. Yeah, get it?
This is why we are not invited to the nice mixers with other podcasters.
Scrap boom!
And that would be the sound of part of a building landing on the Avengers Academy campus after being thrown from a great distance.
The assembled kids, including Julie Power, fly out and see fires and smoke in the nearby city, while Hank Pym looks at the staticky images of the destroyed Atlantis.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs. That's it, I'm getting a machine gun.
You get your machine gun, I'm going to get the cover to this issue because we need to talk about the themes of the issue, starting with this cover, which is done by Slava Parsareng. And this is interesting. It is a painted cover, and we've got Megan and She-Hulk and Giant Man and Shuri, Black Panther. And then we have an alien, and the alien's holding up a sphere, which is kind of diagonally cutting this thing in half.
Yeah, it's a double-ended spear.
Yeah, and we have Vindy the Hunt at the top there. I'm fine with it except for Giant Man. Giant Man's going to look like, oh, and his face is really extended out. I like everything else about it except his face. His face makes this cover just ridiculous for me.
Well, look at Shuri, because she's got bugged-out eyes, so she looks like she's, recoiling.
Yeah.
Megan does as well. Jen kind of has, like, a neutral face.
I don't mind the scared faces. It's just like Hank looks ridiculous.
Derpy. Just too derpy. Yeah. Okay. My problem with the cover is that it is featuring a villain that we do not say in this issue at all. So
yes, but this is part of the big Infinity event, and this is deep within the Infinity event. So I think everybody at the time knew about these aliens. So
well, good for those fancy pantses of 2013 who knew what was going on, whereas I don't.
Yeah. I'm kind of there with you.
I, who live in the future, do not know about the past.
Yeah, I missed this when it was coming out, as did you. And I think both of us were like, oh, this is part of a crossover event? Oh gosh, oh golly, oh gee whiz. I've heard about a lot of different events, and this one is under the radar. And I think part of it is because it kind of got built into the big thing with the builders invading our universe. It was part of the Illuminati, the builders, all of that stuff. And so there's an invasion going on, and because of this invasion that's happening to our universe, Thanos decides, hey, this is a great time. He's going to invade Earth. This is part of the Infinity event where Thanos saw an opening because all of the Earth's heroes are away dealing with this big threat, and Thanos is like, well, fine, I'm going to come and get a bunch of races together, and we're going to just attack Earth because, yay, we're not going to try to save the universe, we're going to try to just mess over Earth.
All right, but I mean, not all the heroes of Earth are gone because they're dug in like termites. They're all over the place.
Yeah, but they're talking about the real heroes like the Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a whole lot of stuff that was going on with this. Thunderbolts, Avengers Assemble, Infinity, Mighty Avengers, Nova, bunch of things going on. This is just one of these little events that was occurring back then, and this is one of a few different miniseries that came out at that time. And I know nothing about it. You know nothing about it, but we are here because we got Power Pack in this issue, so we got to cover it. And we're going to learn about it. And we're going to have fun with it.
We've seen half the pack in this issue alone, which is pretty great.
Coming from an outside perspective, looking at this, I still think it's kind of fun. We don't know what's going on. The kids here don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. They're just like, hey, we're going to do this nifty thing called Contest of Champions, and oh my gosh, we're having an invasion. Now we're going to solve this problem. I did write this one little thing down here. It says, when the Avengers departed Earth in order to face the Builders, an ancient and powerful race with the objective of destroying Earth, Thanos and his Black Order took advantage of the absence of Earth's mightiest heroes from the planet in order to raise it. See, I wrote that down. I just didn't even read it. I just was storing off memory because that's where I go.
Good job you, because even hearing you say those words after the descriptor, half of it made no sense to me.
Well, good. Yeah, this is done by Matt Kindt, and I didn't really know too much about him. He's done a lot with Valiant and with some other publishers, Boom Studios. He's done a few things, Bad Idea Studios, some in DC, a little bit in Marvel, and some Dark Horse stuff. But yeah, I just have never really known his stuff that much, so I was kind of interested in it. His biggest thing that he's done recently is Berserker.
Okay.
That was the comic that he wrote with Keanu Reeves. He was the co-writer with Keanu Reeves on it, and that became one of the highest selling single issues in the 21st century. So
people love Keanu.
You know, if you're going to find yourself a star to hang on to, that's what I hang on to.
Hanging on that one. Hanging on to that dog star. Let's see if anybody gets that reference.
Saw what you did there. So
you like that?
Not really. Not really.
I was proud of it. It came off the cuff.
All right. Then you just go with it. What do you think about the art style in this book?
It's fine. It's fully acceptable. It is not the greatest art in the world. It's not the worst art in the world. It is very it works.
It's generic house style,
yeah,
and it's done a little poorly, I think. I don't know. I'm a little disappointed in it.
I get that. The big thing for me is the moloids have an entirely different vibe going on them than what I'm used to. While they're still who they normally are, I'm used to them just having the slitted eyes, but they're doing close-up enoughs on them that you're seeing that they're like, oh, they actually have eyes in those big old orb areas, and you can see them, and there's things where like they'll open their eyelids up really wide, and you're like, I'm not used to seeing the moloids like this. But it is a house style. I find it to be very passable. It is definitely advanced to the next grade work. It's not exemplary.
Yeah. The only interesting thing I can say is, or the only compliment that I can really give it is that you can really tell the characters apart, which is nice, especially when you've got so many characters that you're dealing with.
They even did some in silhouette from behind, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know who that is, and I know who that is. Yeah, okay.
They do good work on that piece of it. I'm happy enough with that. Question for you, what school would you apply to? We've got a lot of different schools here that are coming in and playing in the sandbox that the Avengers are providing. What school would you apply to?
There's the thing on that. There are a lot of schools that I don't think I would be able to apply to because the egg, the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster one, not from the Asians, so I can't get to there. Latveria, I don't think that's one you apply to. I think that's one you're told you're going to.
Well, let's just say that any of the bare minimum requirements that you would need to get into that school, however that would be, you would meet, okay?
Okay. Let's see. I think I would legacy into the Braddock School. Don't ask questions. I would just legacy into it. But I think, honestly, my safety net school would be the Avengers Academy. I think that would be the good local college that I would probably end up going to.
Nah, Jeff, you would end up in Latveria. You would end up in Latveria. They were like, oh, evil scientist? Yes, we've got your number. We've got you set up right there. Yeah, that's yours.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay, how about yourself?
Boy,
would you be going to Atlanta in because you're all wet?
I'm not. I'm actually very dry right now. Thank you very much.
You're very dry because of the wet damage going on?
I mean, at the moment, I think I'd fit into Wakanda at this point in time. God, honestly, campus-wise, I probably still would like to go with the Avengers Academy. I really like that campus. I would like to go to the Asian school because I think that'd be pretty sweet going to Mumbai, but I can't take their building seriously. It's ridiculous.
It might come up again later in part of our future segment.
Just ridiculous. I think at the end of the day, I think I would probably be regulated to, oh boy, I think I would actually probably end up at the Braddock Academy because I'm just not that special.
Yeah, they're willing to take Canadian, son of a Canadian, and a swamp monster.
First of all, though, I love Megan. I think Megan's fantastic, but I'm like, oh, Captain Britain gets to train me? Man, this is like remedial math or something. I don't know what's going on here.
Occasionally Nightcrawler pops in.
This is how to be a bad superhero. No, Nightcrawler pops in just to make fun of us. I mean, come on. Let's be honest here. And we got some interesting new characters, too.
There's one that stands out to me the most.
Go on.
That would be Bull, the well-named character because he has the strength, agility, and senses of a lion. So his name is Bull. Yeah,
he's pretty straightforward, too.
Yeah, he also just wants to sink his teeth into the doe-eyed sheep and then maybe kill one of his teammates later.
Yeah.
So
he's got very... Yeah, he's
angry and feral. Most of the kids are angry. This one's very feral as well.
I think Wakanda kind of ended up on the low end of the stick.
Yeah.
As much as they joke about it, Locke and Box from Braddock School, I'm interested in both of those. I mean,
yeah,
Locke
honestly.
kind of seems kind of cool. And Box, actually, I'm more of a Jeffrey Madison Box character, but it's got a pretty cool suit. Fine, whatever.
Yeah, it also modified it so that it's got 10 times the, I think, strength and speed or strength and endurance that his father's suit had. So it's going to be a little powerhouse mech, which is cool.
Yeah. I would like to get to know Pom Pom, but I'm afraid she would kill me.
She is speaking of angry kids, she's very upset. She is in her world and just upset about things. I really like the internal monologue of Genesis, because he's like, man, I don't know if this is a good idea. I mean, we're having a hard enough time keeping our teams together in school, let alone this, and I'm really afraid somebody could get hurt or worse. He's a good kid. He's a good kid.
I kind of like him. Even though he is a clone of Apocalypse.
We all come from somewhere.
It's a big setup issue. We get introduced to a lot of new schools, a lot of new characters. Kind of fun, kind of interesting, and it's a new series for us to sink our teeth into with Alex Power said hi, and Julie's in the audience.
And they were there too.
They were there. They showed up, and that brings us here. So, anything else you want to talk about this book?
Man, it was just the aspect that when you're saying who was in the book and you said that Turbo was in here, I'm like, what? She was? Where? Like, I've gone through this comic a bunch and I never saw her, so she must have been very background.
Very background. There's a lot of background characters, and it's going to thin out a lot as we start to move forward with these characters.
Yeah, the whole conceit of the contest is that each school is going to bring forth 3 students, and then they'll go to a remote island and do competitions. So,
but who cares about that? Because that's all out the window now, because we are in invasion mode. So it's not even about the contest of champions.
They said it. I kind of want the contest of champions. I want to see that teenage angst and interpersonal connections.
It's not going to happen. Let's go ahead and talk about that when we get to Avengers Arena, because I read that series and oh boy, that is the contest of champions. Only problem is none of the kids signed up for it, and it's being run by Arcade. So
that's going to be real good.
It's a fun little book. All right, let's get into our final thoughts then. Let's talk about the Gallery of Greatness. What piece of artwork is being sent in via fax machine to this centralized location for us to put up on the walls before they're blown up by aliens? Let's start with a backup joke one. You got one for me?
Yep, my backup joke one is on page 17 of Marvel Unlimited, and I call it Look! And that is the moloids trying to get everybody's attention while they're looking out the window because something bright and big is coming. And one of the moloids has got his hands pressed against the glass and his eyes bugged way out, and he's looking unmoloid-like. And it just makes me laugh because you never see these moloids with their eyes that open.
They're kind of ridiculous. They're the weird Greek chorus that nobody cares about. Yeah, they're just like usual. The moloids are there. And great. Mine is early on in the book where everybody's sitting listening to what's going on. And in this picture, we have Julie Power, even though it's yellow costume. I think it's just miscoloring a little bit there. But this is a bunch of kids sitting and they're listening, and Quentin Quire is saying, wait, what? And while he's talking and Genesis is talking back to him, there's a girl in a raccoon hat that's sitting behind them, and she's sticking out her tongue at Quentin Quire, and I was just like, she's my new hero. She's my new personal hero.
I think that's Power Princess.
I think it might be, but I could not find anything that... First of all, Molly Hayes, Power Princess, would not be here. 100% she would not be at this thing. She does not go to school. Until she's forced to go to school, but she goes to a regular school. She does not go to a powered school. So that means I don't think it's her. I don't know who it is. I looked up. I think it's just unnamed generic kid who is gone. But for the time being, she's my hero.
Okay, there was a number of characters in here where I'm like, I think I recognize you from My Hero Academia. I think I recognize you from this other thing. So he may have just kind of picked and dribbled from other medias that they were like, oh, I like these people. I'll just put them in just as a little background sauce.
What do you have for your joke art? Yep.
Top one is on page 13, which I call Bentley is better than everyone because...
I call it Bentley's on the toilet.
Yeah, I also thought it looks like a floating toilet. It does. It looks like he's on the can, and he's written on the wall behind him. It says Bentley 666, greater than sign, everyone. So Bentley is greater than everyone.
I think his message would have had more weight if he wasn't sitting on a toilet.
Yeah, I really don't want to say he's squatting on the pot, but boy, it really looks like he's squatting on the pot.
He's squatting on a pot.
That's what he's doing. On a pot. Yep, he's squatting on a toilet, which...
floating toilet, too. Yeah. So.
And that's what adds to the delight of it being a joke, because it is a total joke.
All right, my backup good art is the Avengers Academy cutout.
Same.
We've talked about it before.
I called it Cutaway.
We like a good map. We like a good cutaway. And this is just kind of fun. It's neat. I'm glad to see it. It's well rendered. It's very informative. And it tells me that this is a place I want to go to school.
Yeah, it's a good looking school. Got a lot of pools. Good looking school.
As well it should. Lots of pools. Lots of pools.
Well, it is in California. They need pools.
Yeah. And then when the pools aren't enough, you got the ocean right there.
Yeah, it's all good.
Right. Let's go ahead and talk about our top good art. Let's see if we match on that one, too.
Is it on page 8, and I called it the egg?
No, that's not good art. That's bad art.
It is. It was really well done. My thing on that is I just kept on coming back to it to look at it, because I'm like, that's really a thing. And since I kept on going back to it, I'm like, I think I really like this due to just how it is not normal. It is.
Fair enough. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's drawn well. It's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but it is drawn well. So that's what I picked. What did you go for?
I went with the last page. I went with Sunday, Bloody Sunday, because this is where we have underwater, or it's through the camera, and so it's a little bit staticky. It's the underwater Atlantis, so it's destruction everywhere, and you're just seeing blood coming out of all these beings. It's pretty visceral. It's pretty grotesque.
That is a good piece of art. Yeah, just showing some bodies in the water, some statuary destroyed, a lot of blood in the water, just patches. Where you're like, they're not showing me what happened there, but something happened there. Yeah.
Something happened there, all right. Probably got somebody just so stupid to be on their guard duty. Oh my gosh, we're at rubber and glue moment. Rubber and glue moment. I'd like to start with my backup one, and that's Asha saying, ugh, Lox is so stupid. So stupid.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like that one. It's simple, it's direct, and it's just, everything. So stupid. So stupid.
Yeah, no, it was on my list. I thought that was pretty fantastic. I didn't go for it. What I did go for, there's a panel that we keep on going back to, which had like all the weird looking students in the background. And it is Quentin Quire talking with Genesis, and Finesse is there. And Genesis is going, wow, that's a lot of schools. And Finesse's response with her hands behind her head is, I can beat them.
Yeah.
And I loved her for that, because it's just like, it's such a confident put down of like, yeah, there's a bunch of schools and I can beat them because they're not me and they're chumps.
My Avengers card says Finesse. What's yours say?
Oh, is it nothing? That's right, because you're not an Avenger.
My top one was at the introduction of the Braddock Academy. Quentin's response, man, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Yeah. Although those two would make great EDs detective show. Am I right? Lockbox?
Yeah, Lockbox. Yeah.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel. I'm like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Because my first comment was, wait, Box is dead and he's an adult. Oh, it's his son.
It's his son. Oh. I wonder if he'll survive.
Don't get Ben's. Oh, too soon.
Strangely enough, my top rubber and glue moment is in that same conversation where Genesis is talking about like, hey, something feels wrong. Quentin's like, yeah, they win this thing if we're picked. This is a joke. And Genesis is like, no, that vibration. Do you feel something? Quentin's response is, yeah, all those other fools shaking in their Ugg boots. Quentin, you're great.
All right, this is the hard one because we got Parent of the Year. The Reed Richards Award for good parenting. There's not a whole lot of parenting going on. There's just introductions of kids.
These are all fairly tough.
Actually, the rest of them are fine, I think. This one, though, I'm going to say, I'm going to question She-Hulk or whoever wrote Bentley's bio.
Okay.
It was very personal and very inappropriate. So I'm going to go ahead and say that She-Hulk, I'm going to blame it on you because you're the representative. You should have gotten in there and done something different for Bentley's bio.
Bentley's bio basically was, he's the clone of the Wizard, and Reed is hoping that with proper upbringing, he won't suck.
Pretty much.
Basically what it boils down to. At the same time, the bio on the moloids is, these are advanced moloids. We suspect that they might have some untapped potential and powers that we don't know about yet.
See, I'm going to go ahead and say, not good parenting, not good,
It cracks me up.
What do you have on that one?
I'm going to go for the good one. I'm going to go for Hank. He actually was talking with people and trying to make it unification and unity and going like, hey, I know that there's a bunch of schools that you think might not get along well, but hey, this is what we're doing here, is that we're trying to build bridges, and just because our generation with these people haven't worked out, maybe your generation with these people will, and this is how you start. You open a communication. So he at least was kind of trying.
See, you may think that, but when we get to Popular and Shunned, I'm going to tell you, my worst was Hank. Dude, you are running this and you don't even come up with a name or check the PowerPoint or anything. This is your campus, man. What are you doing? What are you doing?
This was all of them but Megan, because they're like, we should probably name this. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm putting it on Hank because it's his campus.
Yeah, this is probably his idea,
he's running this show, so no. He's my worst. Who do you have as worst?
I'm going to go for Bull, because again, he has the strength and senses and dexterity of a lion, and his name is Bull. But also, he just wants to kill his competitors and one of his teammates.
Yeah, but one, it's not his fault that those are his powers. It's not his fault. And
it's his fault for picking a name named Bull, which has nothing to do with a lion. Hey, I have a bunch of lion powers. Maybe I should be called Lion or something.
Also, if we look at everybody else, I would say probably a good 60 to 65% of the students here want to kill their fellow teammates.
Yeah, there's a possibility.
Who do you have as best? And why is it not Megan?
Okay, I'm sticking with this, but it's also a joke. My best one is Bentley, because, as you saw on page 13, it was written on a wall. Bentley was better than everyone else. Ergo, Bentley is the best.
Normally, I would accept that. I would accept that as read and that you would be correct. Except he wrote it on the bathroom stall. So that negates how great he is.
Hey, everybody's talking about it. So...
Yes, they're also talking about Jenny's phone number, and that was written on a bathroom stall as well. So what?
Still talking about it. Still pertinent, still relevant. I'm going for Bentley.
Megan, she did not wait for these other yahoos to get their act together. She did it herself. There we go.
She knew the assignment. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was like, I'm part of a class project with these people.
To be
I better
fair,
just get it done so that way I can get a grade.
After years and years and years of being the significant other of Captain Britain, she is used to dealing with idiots. Enough said. All right. Let's go ahead and get into ranking this. Top grades. We want to evaluate each issue against the other issues with a member of the pack in them. We got this big old list that we talk about all the time. Spot number 6, we have FF number 23, Run! That's where future Frank and Val say goodbye. And we have spot number 15, where the Reeds have snuck into the 616 in FF number 3. We have spot number 22, Bentley versus the Wizard. You are whatever you want to be, from FF number 22. Spot number 35, the big fight with the Wizard and Company in the negative zone, from FF number 7. Worst field trip ever. And we have spot number 42, FF number 9, Last Splash,
Pool Party!
Spot number 53, True Believers from Runaways, number 1. And then, of course, the bottom of the list. Where do you think that this one's going to go here?
Okay, the problem that this one had is that it was introducing a whole lot of people and a whole lot of reasons why these people were there. Let's look at spot 59, Crosstown Rivals, which is where the Academy versus Jean Grey School do flag football match.
Yeah, we know most of those characters because we do know both schools. We know most of the X-Men. We know most of the Avengers Academy, especially us because we were reading the book at the time.
Yep.
So it's a lot of people. We're introducing them well. It's pretty simple and straightforward, and they do a good job with it. It's fun. This, we can't really get to the definite fun aspect because it's just a lot. I think that it's very competent in how it does it.
It does a good job. It's just everybody gets to be introduced and have up to 1 or 2 sentences.
Sure, yeah.
To hook you into them.
Yeah. So it's not too bad. We're probably in the right area here. I'm looking at Avengers Solo 1 through 5. That's with Finesse and Stryker. That's their extra credit mission.
That's in spot 62.
Yeah, I think probably somewhere between 59 and 62 might be about right.
Okay, in spot 61, You Can't Go Home Again, Medusa versus She-Hulk, and Bentley and Uhura versus the Future Foundation kids. Then there's spot 60, the Fantastic Four visit Wakanda and they're attacked by skeletons. This is before the girls got high and fought God. Which still cracks me up.
That was really good. That was really good, actually. I don't. Where are you feeling?
Ah, man. I think I kind of like this one better than You Can't Go Home Again, where Medusa and She-Hulk fought because they were both obstinate. But really, anywhere in there would be fairly good.
Let's make this a new 61 then.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds very fair and fine.
All righty-o. Jeff, are we still rivals? We
are crosstown rivals. We are Northern Oregon rivals. But not in podcasting or in comics, and that we agree that we like both of those. So we are not rivals. I have a little bit of rivalry left in my glass. You have a little bit more rivalry left in your glass. What do you think about it? What are you thinking about this?
It's not my favorite kind of sweet. I like sweet stuff, but I don't like this burnt caramel type of sweet.
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot of tannins. It's got that bitter ale taste. It may be one of the best barley wines I've had. Barley wine ales.
It is the best barley wine that I've ever had, which is faint praise.
I'd be willing to say a 3 on this one.
I get that. I'm waffling between a 3 and a 3.5. I am drinking it. The 12% ABV is wonderful for me right now, and I've even had dinner.
It's very upfront, yes.
It's very upfront, and it's up in your brains. It's fine. It does have that kind of, it's got that odd sweet because it's like a fig or a date sweet going on with it. It's got, the barley wineness of it. I'll hang out in 3 land with you.
Okay. All right.
It is very acceptable. I don't think it's the right weather to be drinking this.
Oh, definitely not the right weather to be drinking this.
I'd definitely throw it another half star if it was cold out.
Probably.
Yeah, but I'd give full stars to Kit's perspective. And that's where Rick talks to his 14-year-old daughter, Carrie, about the issue that we just covered. Rick and Carrie, take it away.
Hello, Carrie.
Hello, Day.
We are here to talk about Infinity #1, The Hunt.
Yep.
What is your first impressions of this book?
It was interesting. There was like a bunch of schools that were over there and different characters. I recognized a few of them from issues we've read in the past. Mm-hmm. And then there was the ending, which was like, oh my gosh, wow, okay.
So they're coming together to do this contest of champions, right?
Yeah, and it seems neat. It feels kind of light because they're all like making fun of each other and checking each other out because they're teenagers or stuff and kids and stuff. And then, of course, once again, the ending.
Yeah, what's happening is this is part of a bigger event at this time in Marvel Comics where there's a lot of things going on, and all of Earth's heroes have gone off planet to deal with this intergalactic crisis. And that's the point in time that Thanos said, gosh, it would be a great time to attack planet Earth. And so what's happening is all these alien races have banded together to attack Earth because it's undefended right now.
You know, Thanos is kind of a smart guy sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that hard to think about, to be honest. Like, Earth without its knights and shining armor, me, bad guy.
Yeah.
Me, bad guy, go defeat Earth.
Yeah. Simple. And a bunch of these kids are there going, oh my gosh, what's happening? And now we have this little mini-series with them figuring out what's going on. And why are we covering this book, though? That's the most important question.
Because Julie made her famous cameo in it.
Not
Woo!
only Julie, Alex Power was in there as well.
Alex was in there, too.
Yeah, he was. What was your favorite new character that was introduced?
I don't know quite really, because we only saw like what they were thinking, and it was mostly just against each other.
Right, but which one looked the most interesting and had maybe a cool power set or cool design?
I kind of liked how Pom Pom's like thingies looked. I also like that she's like Pan-Asian. That sounds... I just, gotta respect the other Asians out there.
I almost could have placed money that you would have picked Pom Pom. I don't know why.
Look, okay, gotta represent, you know?
That's fair. So you like Pom Pom, and you kind of like the Pan-Asian school representing, even though their school looks like... Actually, what does their school look like to you?
It looks like a big egg.
Okay, good. That's exactly what Jeff and I thought, too. It's a giant egg.
Yeah. It's a big egg.
It's a big egg. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I am still down for going to the Avengers Academy school because it looks really awesome. And I'm not going to go to the Pan-Asian school because it looks like an egg.
Yeah. Based on appearances, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Avengers Academy has Julie in it.
Yeah.
And love Julie, so.
Yeah. And I'm not going to go to the Future Foundation because the moloids are there. And Bentley. And I don't like them.
You don't like the moloids?
No. I find them tedious.
You don't like how they worship the Ben?
I mean, that's cool and all, but I don't like the moloids.
One of those last panels with the moloids, it was actually horrifying.
Where their eyes were really big?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff liked that one. I don't understand that at all.
I, made a small noise, in real life. I was like, ah! I was like, oh my god!
That's horrible! Help. All right. Anything else you wanted to say about this book or anything else that you're interested about?
Not really.
All right. Then thank you very much for your time, Carrie.
You're welcome.
I love you.
Love you too.
And away you took it. To school! But which school? Oh, that is the question, Carrie. Which school indeed?
Shout out time! We like to recognize those listeners that take some time to write in or leave us a review. And this is for FF number 7. That was the worst field trip ever! And we had our wonderful guest, Brett Young, from the podcast Fantastic Four. Thank you very much for your time, effort, and conversation with us.
We also have Hoover Jeremiah.
And Jeff Polier. We also get some money from our lovely friends on Patreon. These are the people that support us and keep this show coming out. And that includes adorably astonishing and amazing Andrew Burns.
Cheerfully cheeky and charming Char Logan.
Challenging, cheesy, and chuckling Charles Gears.
Destructive and devastatingly delightful Damian Witter.
Dynamically dangerous and devious Doug Jones.
Intelligent, interesting, and innovative Isaac Perry.
Jaunty, jubilant, and jazzy Jeff Osterritter.
Jesting, joking, and jovial Jeff Polier.
Just jealous and jewel Jeremy Daw.
Muscly, mighty, and meticulous Matthew Birdsey.
Mythical and magnificent monologuing Matthew Laserwitz.
Steely, salty, and steamy Sailor Bear Zodar.
Sad and sickeningly silly Shag Matthews.
Tyrannically terrifying and tame Tim Price.
Way wordy and wobbly Waffles.
Next issue, we're going to be covering Infinity, The Hunt, issue number 2. School's out. Forever!
Be sure to check out my daughter's comic strip on their website. Just search for Jeff and Rick Present Tales of Tales.
And we have some merchandise available on Redbubble. Go to redbubble.com and search for Unpacking the Power of Power Pack.
Jeff and Rick Present is a bi-weekly self-produced podcast recorded in front of a live studio audience of a very large dehumidifier which is airing out my room. Fantastic! In Portland, Oregon. If you'd like to interact with us through the magic of the internet, you can do so through Blue Sky at Jeff and Rick Present, our Facebook page, Jeff and Rick Present, our email address, Jeff and Rick Present, all one word, at gmail.com, or at our website, jeffandrickpresent.wordpress.com. Also, our YouTube channel is at Jeff and Rick Present.
And if you would like to help support our show, we are on Patreon. You can find us at patreon.com, Jeff and Rick Present, all one word. We are also a proud supporter of the Hero Initiative, and we'll be donating 10% of our Patreon donations to this great cause. We encourage everyone to give what they can to this worthwhile organization that helps the creators who provide us with such great content. Go to heroinitiative.org to find out more.
Please rate and review us wherever you can. Tell your friends about us or share your love for us in social media.
And as always, we want to thank the powerful people in our packs.
My wife Cindy and our daughter Carrie.
My fiancée Hillary and our daughter Aurora. We love you. Until next time, costumes off.
Our theme music is 80s Action by Kevin MacLeod. Also featured in this episode is Rotten on Kanal by Sasha Ende. All music is found at Incompetech.com and is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license.
We're going to have a bunch of product in our Redbubble show. Redbubble shop now about me washing cars. It's going to be fantastic. We're actually going to change the entirety of the podcast to Jeff washing cars. And I get in there real good hand scrubbing.
Read the opening credits!
Scrub-boom!
She not only named this event, but she created a Lego.
Scrub-boom!
The crowd of students attending this introduction have various comments as to the... It's going to be a rough day for everybody.
Scrub-boom!
Quentin Quire, who's an Omega... Quentin Quire, who's an Omega level mute...
Scrub-boom!
But there is no response from that...